Okay. I am late. I'm quite late. But here we go. There we go. Okay. Alrighty. Hello, everyone. Let me get the game going here. Now, I do need to record something while we're doing this video today. And let me get that up. Let's say it was this link here. Move you over there, go you right there, go you right there. All right. Go ahead and launch that bad boy. Alrighty, there's the alert going out. We're gonna really quickly jump into AC and just see what is here. Load squadron battle first. Free flight. I would love to play squadron battle, but I don't think it ever has players really anymore. All right. Oh, okay. Hey Hazard, how's it going? Let me really quick go over here. Streamlabs. All right. Okay, now that should work in theory. All right. Seems like Gladius is. Hellions Shadow Moses, very good pilot. Man, AC has been really craft lately. Really craft lobbies in AC. He didn't flare back, I don't think. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh. Guy's nose red. Oh, damn it. We clipped him. We clipped him. Damn. This looks like it might be a Gladius laser lobby. Let's just see if it is. I don't want to PM, so I'll switch to a laser glad myself. All right, we're trying to be respectful. I really do hate how overly efficient they made the. All right, B-Bill wants to kill me. All right, B-Bill, you can kill me. B-Bill's a really good pilot. Damn it. I think I need to slightly rebind my precision mode because sometimes I can just grip the trigger. I'm a little high on it. But yeah, B-Bill's up there. He's a great pilot. I did beat him a few times back at the start of the last Blessed meta, but that was just because he was still using lasers and it was the Shredder meta. That wasn't the skill thing. 30. Get a little closer here. Those attritions? Okay. Yep, tough lobby. That's how it is these days, though. What do I have on my era right now? Yep, still NDBs. Alrighty. Okay. That's not really a flare pass, but hey. That's him? Yeah. AC is super cracked right now. I don't know if people right now are just playing the patch, not fucking around in free flight at all, or what, but it feels like the population's really low. Like, I've only really seen lobbies with top tier pilots in them, and the people who are like still doing and actively trading present to PvP. Usually you get a good spread. Okay, the attritions seem to be doing well for them. Hey, and that's good morning. Okay, we used it a full shield reset, I guess.
Check fire. Check fire.
Good fight. Yeah, I'm seeing that too. I think this is an M cannon basher. It is. Now, I did not like this build last time I tried it, but hey. Yeah, Kellyan, B-Bell, Birdie, those are all really, really top tier pilots. Like, Kellyan's another YouTuber. Kellyan missed the stream I missed and got the notification you're live. Yeah, no worries, man. I was super late last night. Yeah, lots of attritions, which I get, but when I tried them, I didn't quite like them. Be able to give them another shot. Yeah, no, but dude, the M cannons just are not it. They have no hit percentage even staggered. Of course, this guy's also insanely evasive. Yeah. AC has been getting absolutely just cracked. Which I don't think is a good thing. I want to clarify that. If only the people playing left are the tryhards, which is how it's feeling right now, right? Let's try others. Well, I'm sure there's only one lobby playing, so we'll get back in there. But, like, let's see. So I want to keep the ballistic one. So vehicle selection. Grays. Yeah, here we go. And we're going to do body kit, back, vehicle loadout, liveries. Maybe a staggered attrition would feel good for me. It was just that rate of fire I didn't like. But we're still gonna be capacitor fucked, but let's just do it mono because that's what everyone else was doing. Normally I would slip in ballistic somewhere just to keep my my mag higher, but If people are running mono laser, I don't want to be the stick in the mud, right? And then vehicle selection, Gladius. Start over. All right. JS300. FR66. And finally, Arrow. Christian ones. All right, there we go. Let's do some CF mix, maybe. Maybe. It feels like it's very alpha based right now. All right. Let's start with the Gladius. Yeah, with 3 weapons, staggered fire is not super great. I see Aeonix hopped in. All right, Aeonix, I want to see you kill Pluto. You can take Pluto, Aeonix. He's got CS for sure. You can see that difference. Right there, that's like a perfect example of the difference in rate of fire, right? Oh yeah, you've got him. You've got him. He's giving it the fight. He's giving you slot. Good stuff. You aren't even damaged, my friend. Yeah, I'm not sure stagger even makes a lot of sense on the Gladius. Good fight. Good fight, Aeonix. I just committed to the trade at the end there. I'm just like, screw it. Let's just shoot each other until one dies. TDK still feels longer than ballistics, but it's not bad. Let's try the arrow next. Yeah, great fight. Great fight, Aeonix. Okay. Arrow time. So with 4 guns, that looks a lot better. Hussar's Wrecking Hall in a... That's a golem, I believe? What are you doing here, bud? We're not going to attack him. We're just going to go say hello. He's not a pink vulture. He's safe. Hussar's Wrecking Hall. I wonder if he's like a roleplay player or something, just checking out a new ship he got. I'm not gonna attack you, bud. You don't gotta freak out. You don't gotta back away. I'm just saying hello. Frost.
Check fire.
He didn't. Oh, he's fighting Pluto. All right, we'll let him fight Pluto. Let's see how Frost does against Pluto. Pluto's the weakest in the lobby, that's for sure. Obsidian Death. Doesn't look like he's actively in a fight. Means 2 CS support attritions get the higher alpha than if I was high power rate missed in. I see what you're saying. I don't think he's super interested in dueling. Alright, we will let him drill. I just wanted to make sure he saw me and I dropped the flare. We won't harass him past that. Erdy and Kellyan going at it. Yeah. So Kellyan's a really good pilot. He's another YouTuber, by the way, guys. You should check out his stuff. It's pretty good. He's in Shadow Moses, so Erdy's beating him. So yeah, Erdy's definitely up there. Like the craft lobbies these days, which is like, it feels to me like only like the PvP people are really playing Free Flight. Just B-Bell again. Hey. Thought he was shooting to get my attention. He was not. Frost beat Pluto. Ride the Dude beat Aeonix. Let's just wait for a fight, I guess. I mean, I'll lose the B-Bell again if he wants. Oh no, he's fighting someone else. He's fighting that guy. Cavalon. Frost, maybe? A little bit of lag on him. That's unfortunate. Don't know if it's me or it's him. I was having a lot of stream desync issues last night, so. Shield reset helps him more than me. AT. It's one of Deadwig's crew. One second, bud. Bad time for that party invite. Yeah, the shield resets definitely help the Gladius a lot more in this meta. Boss is good. See if I can't.
Check fire. Check fire. Check fire.
Yep, good fight. Good fight, Frost. Cal, what are you doing back again? But I appreciate the backdrop banter during my test. Who's of suffering today? No worries, man. Good fight, man. Try it on the Basher now. I don't think staggered fire really helps, so maybe you're on to something. Although I'm wondering why we have full capacity. Zach in a wolf. I would love to fight a wolf right now. I'll let him attack him. Sir? Sir? At least look at me, man. I don't think he really is interested in, but it's always... Alright, here we go. Well, at that point, that's just he's not interested. Okay. We got in front of his nose, we dropped the flares. He's still ignoring us. That's okay. That's how it be. Alright, what is the mission for the mole? Hey, Yondix, do you want to go? Or actually, there's Alto. I fought Alto in the past. I'll fight you too, but Alto... I do want to fight a wolf in this thing. So we'll see if Alto takes a fight. I know it's Alt 9, but I don't know. Brother, don't just fly away from me again. What's with the wolves and just flying away from me? Alright, well he's fighting him, I guess. Why the dude is going to take him down though? I just want to fight a wolf in this thing. Nah, it's all good, dude. Don't worry. Hey, Onyx, you're totally fine, man. Remember, we are in Craft Lobby's session today, right? Like, everyone at AC these days seems to be just absolutely top of the fucking cream of the crop. Remember, dude, you were stacking bodies in PU the other day, okay? I don't want you to feel bad at all. Trying to fish for a hit to get your Slipper Shield regen, didn't do it. Sir. Trying to get that shield regen. I see you. Alright, we can do a shield regen. Good fight, Aeondix. Good fight. The calzone looks like I'm gonna be buying his shit. My budget's pretty limited. What I'm wanting to do, what would you suggest? Well, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to do, my friend? I still think the Bashers are a lot of fun. I honestly think both Bashers are gonna stay in my hangar. I like them. They aren't overpowered, but I like them. Staggered fire does work with 6 guns. 3 and 4, not really. Hazard's win to the wolf will be right there. Oh, heck yeah, dude. Let's do it, Hazard. I have to mine 25 sap, 40 lind, and 50 bexelite in one session? Wait, why in one session? Hazard, let's go, man. All right. Heck yeah. Don't staggered fire on yet. That's okay. Tap that shield. Tap that shield. Okay, shields are down. All right, now let's try and catch him in close here. Good fight, Hazard. Let's try and grip on staggered fire really quick. That was gonna up our hit rate quite a lot. Good fight, man. I appreciate you coming here and doing that. Do you fly light fighters very often? All right, we'll grab this. Yeah, here we go. Here's this. Fight through here. It's gonna outrate, but we're gonna get nose on like this. Trade into the damage a bit. Get under him like this. Come around. Get some hits. Stop that regen. Keeping the shields down is crucial versus a ballistic build. Get some regen on ourselves here, and this should be it. Stop that. Oh, good fight, but close. I did fly the wolf for a bit before armor, but no, it's all good. Oh, if anything, that just means you're more impressive for mastering the heavy fighters. I just noticed you were still keeping your distance a lot, and so the Basher wants to fight at distance, right? SPK popping, right? No, honestly, it's really dead, but it's gonna do that. So, especially with your ballistic build, right? Distance helps and hurts you, right? So distance will give you a chance to get shields back, but you're also going to be facing my full face of guns. The wolf outrates the Basher. I guess while you're answering that, Cal, do you enjoy milsims at all? Yeah, I enjoy milsims. It just depends on the level of milsim, right? Like, I like squad, I like held it loose. I was in an Arma milsim for a little while, and while I had some enjoyable experiences, goddamn, did that become insufferable quick. It doesn't say the progress, otherwise if I log out, I see what you're saying. Let's go back from tooling like airsoft Milsim. Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah, so against the Basher with the Wolves, getting in close is better because the Basher is a long range fighter, right? So like because it turns a little bit worse, it wants to sit at mid range, like 400 meters, and just aim trade you. That's where the Basher is good. But also your projectiles are a little slower velocity, but you get better damage. So you turn better, you get better damage. So yeah, if you want really not even the pocket, you want to just be like here, where I'm not getting those onto you, and you're still getting those onto me. So like this is a little bit more accurate, right? Because this is great, but it's hard to get here. You use a lot of boost to get here. This is better, or this. Either way, right? Pitch. Yeah, so in Human Fighters Hazard, that aren't the Mirai series, it's always pitch. I enjoy Milsim games, I don't enjoy Milsim groups. Exactly! Okay, let me scroll on up. How did I find a lobby to be a commander? I tried to join a few and it's all empty. So, Mr. Cthulhu, sorry, I missed your message earlier. But Mr. Cthulhu, if you're still there, it's basically really dead right now. I don't know why. I think maybe people are just playing a new patch, or like I honestly think PvP feels fine. I don't think it's that, but you basically have to join without selecting a map. You have to just join and get this lobby. This is the only one that's active, and unfortunately, it is really high tier. This lobby, like, look, I'm like a mid-level PvP pilot, and I can barely hang in this lobby. Okay. I really like the Basher. It does need a bit more forward. It does. Oh, you don't remember? I enjoyed everything. My favorite was ship and ground combat, though. Okay. So Essence, just give me a raw budget. Like $100, $150, $75. Yeah, baby. You gotta hang out with Desert Fire air stats on the field. That's cool. Jump Town and Pyro. Yeah, right. No. We're going to talk about that. We are going to talk about that. 200 CAD? CAD. Ooh, CAD. I'll have to do that conversion. But no, I want to talk about this. After we're done with our PvP hour, I'm wanting to record something for a video and have you guys here and stuff. Oh, shit. Configuration, gunnery, staggered. Sir? Do you want to fight? I thought he was coming at me. I don't think he was, though. I think he's AFK. Alright, we will not harass him. We don't harass. We have enough honor and SPK to only fight those who wish to do battle. Phantom. That's a name I recognize. I don't remember if he's cracked or not, but he might be. I've seen him in here before. Give him at range. Get shields back, that's good. Got him red. He's gonna get shields back too, that's okay. Slow in that merge here. Oh, here we go. Good fight, Phantom. 141 USD. Okay, we can take a look at that in a sec here, Essence. So 141, you enjoy ship combat and ground combat. What ships do you have? What ships do you already have? If we had probably... See, here's... That does show just an issue with the Bash. Now, I'm not mad that I lost, to clarify, but like, when he did that extension and I couldn't reach him in time before he got a shield regen, like, we had a positional win on him Like we couldn't hold it because of our speeds and how reliant the Basher is on boost. That would be an area that the Basher could be buffed just a little bit. It just needs a tiny bit. Obsidian, we don't have staggered on. That's unfortunate. I wish I could just default that. Got some good hits there. Yeah, stagger definitely works on the Basher. It doesn't really work on the Arrow or the Gladius that well. Although, there's something to be said for the alpha that you get off of the non-stagger. That is a lot of damage coming out with each tap. Remember guys, it's not just damage per second, it's applied DPS, and every shot I fire that misses is an entire burst of mist. Really? Got him. Shields are down. We're low. Got him! The Megalovania came on there. It's like, all right, let's go. You are filled with determination. The cheapest ship from 5 years ago. So, so you have like a Mustang or something. Yeah. So on a different map, Aeondix, I would just murk them. But SPK is really, really strict about following duel etiquette. As there should be. Sigma. Oh, he's engaging me with ballistics without a duel. Yeah, look at how much more I hit that was staggered with this. It just makes the fishing for the hits when they're off pip, right? Way better. So Pip lies to you, chat. Remember, the Pip is a liar. The Pip is a dirty liar. Look at that kill. I love the Basher. I love the Basher. Zach in another Basher. Oh, and he's engaging without duel. Okay, I just said SPK is strict about dueling, and then I get two guys who just dive me. Of course, as we know, here's the rule: if they dive you, they are not good. Splash. There's Ares. Good to see you, Ares. Hey, but if I want to gear up my old F8, well, ooh, F8. Unironically, Ghost, okay, we should talk the F8. The F8 got nerfed hard this patch. Because they nerfed all size 1, 2, and 3 guns. They meant to nerf the fighters, like the light fighters. But that's what the F8 does. So the F8 now is a lot less usable because you can't punch up anymore. The highest that the deadbolts punch is like a constellation. And did you want to fight Ares? I don't want to know you. The highest you can punch with the deadbolts is the constellation, and with the M cannons, you're looking at like a Carrack, right? And so the other heavy fighters just do way better than it. But hold on, this isn't all doom and gloom. Basically, if you just give up the idea of using the F8 to punch up, now it is a really interesting platform for a different type of build, which is a pure punch down build. Only go against fighters and just equip pure shredders. So you can't even damage other heavy fighters at all, but you can have 6 shredders and sawbucks on there, right? And especially against like a basher like me, you only need a couple passes to get a full kill. But yeah, I'm trying to get training on the F8 from Alkaline Hawk, who is one of the best heavy fighter pilots in the world. We're gonna try and figure out it's like an actual answer for the F8, because we both love that ship. We don't like, just because I'm a light fighter main doesn't mean I don't want heavies to be good. Like hold on, let me just put my money where my mouth is really quick. Can I alt tab the game fully here? No. My home screen is an F8. Like my background, this wallpaper is an F8. I love the way that ship looks. I would love to fly it. When it first came out, it was awesome, right? Good stuff, Hazard. So sort of aeonics, but you also want to be a little bit in front of the direction of travel. At least that's been my example. So the attrition basher in this lobby that everyone has just agreed to use no ballistics in does feel good. Sigma's attacking you, Ares. All right, Ares, let's watch this fight. Red and gold on my favorite color schemes. Okay. Okay. Now, is your goal to get in the PvP essence, or just to have a competent ship for all loops? I don't know if the Cutlass wants to fight, but we're just going to give him an offer. Hello, sir. Would you be interested? Nope. Okay, no worries. Have a nice day, sir. Ares is struggling against Sigma. Oh, someone's tapping me. Lightning, he's very good. Nothing but respect for Lightning. He's a very good pilot. He got one of our engines already. Damn. Good fight, Lightning. Okay, ooh. So. I'm all over the place as Aries. It's okay, bud. I have my M80 that are maxed out. I want to take my F8 out for a spin. You know, I get you. I get you. I love the F8. Like, just you see me here rocking the light fighters primarily on stream does not mean I'm not a huge F8 stan. Just it's just unfortunate that what they need to do, in my opinion, is the wider a ship is, right, the longer its wingspan is, the better it should turn. So I think like the F8 should turn the best of all the heavy fighters, maybe except for the Guardians. The rest of the Guardians stick too. Is that a Intrepid? I thought it was a Hurricane at first. That was Intrepid. I would have absolutely just dove a Hurricane. Aeondix, I think you have an Intrepid on you here. No, he's not attacking. Mish is in the lobby. Mish is from Ares. He's one of the Howlers, and he's a very, very, very good pilot. Like I said, like I'm only seeing really top tier people in here. Blazing RP Jesus. Well, that's not him I recognize. Okay, so if you want to learn PvP, you really should own your PvP ship, because that's the only way you get it in Arena Commander, right? Sir, don't dive them. Don't dive them, sir. Sir? Sir, if you shoot... You might just be watching, but it looked like he was shooting at them for a second there. Okay, fight's on.
Friendly fire. Friendly fire.
Okay, I should not be outrating a arrow here.
Friendly fire.
The arrow has so much more stats than me. I'm thinking Blazing RP Jesus might not be the best combat pilot in the world. It's okay. Everyone starts somewhere. And you know... Have another go? Yeah, no worries, man. Yeah. No, you shouldn't need to, Essence. If you know the email sub your account on, we should be able to get it for you back. But with what I was saying before we got into that little scuffle with Mr. Jesus there, is the... if you buy a ship in Verse in PU, you don't get it in Arena Commander. So if you want to practice and train and be a good combat pilot, you really should own the ship. So let's get you a ship that can fight. But the problem is with how they've done armor and everything, it's really hard for like the meta fighters to earn a lot of money, even, right? So what I would say is probably you want a Shiv. You want a Shiv to buy in Verse and a fighter to own. Shiv was a great multi-role ship. Oh, you're already shooting me. Okay. I was still even trying to flare past you. So to get close in a fighter, you always strafe towards the pip, like this, and you keep the fight in pitch. Always keep the fight in pitch. Good fight hazard.
Shield system is hit.
No, Lightning is a very good arrow pilot. Do not feel bad for losing to Lightning. I got nothing but respect for Lightning. He's a great pilot. That's an Aurora. Ooh, good reversal right there. Great reversal right there. That was a really good move. And look, okay, yep, you scratched my nose there. You see that damage got applied from those size 4s.
Friendly fire. Shield system is hit. Friendly fire.
Good fight. You did better that time. I think your rating is just a little bit, yeah, I don't think you're used to rating. That's all it is. So let me just show you really quick. I'm sure you've seen this before, Hazard. This is called the pole drill. I don't know if you have head tracking or not. There are two different pole drills you can do. Well, technically 4. The 2 main ones you can do to help you get better at rating. You just come to any pole in the verse. You can do this in PU. You can do this in Arena Commander. And all you're going to do is just try to orbit it as tight as you can. So decoupled is important here because decoupled is how you maintain the easy orbits. Then all you're doing is just going to be tapping your forward strafe, whether it's W, whether it's the pedals, whether it's your sticks. And all you're going to try to do is orbit it as fast as you can at your maximum turn rate. So you want to be all the way pulling up on the stick, right? Now, the second part of this is to do this with boost, because you rate faster with boost, right? Your goal is to be a lot closer to the pole than I am here. Your goal is to be like here. And to stay there as tight as you can. And this gets you just used to moving at your maximum turn rate as quick as you can in a fight. Now, the second variation of this is this. With head tracking, look up, and you're doing the same thing just with the up strafe. And this is a lot harder. I was only just taught this drill, this version of the drill. Because this is where you're looking in most raid fights, is you're looking straight up. They're over you, right? That is totally okay. Hazard, I want to make one thing clear. Just because I beat you a few times in my niche, which is light fighters, does not in any way diminish how impressive it is that you are with the Guardian, okay? For most people who are good in PvP with heavy fighters, okay? They need to start in lights first, because what you do in a heavy fighter is you use the enemy's inertia against them. And usually they have to know what the light fighter is trying to do be able to do that efficiently, and you figured that out on your own. You figured that out without learning, like, to a high degree the light fighter stuff first, which is really impressive and shows a really good innate understanding of the flight model. Okay, no worries, Essence. I have the M80 Galaxy not out yet, FA Asgard, an in-game mole. U-Medic, Atlas, Ego, and Kago. Okay. I've tried like 100% of the ships, and 95 I don't like flying or look, so so small fleet. Okay. Yeah, so Essence, I think what I said in that time period is, in Arena Commander, if you unlock a ship in-game in PU, you don't get it in Arena Commander. So if you wanted to get into PvP and learn PvP, you should get a PvP ship. And then you should inverse get a Shiv. So how much does the Shiv cost in game, guys? Does anyone remember that? I think the Shiv is still the best multi-role ship in the game. But yeah, if you want to learn the flight model, learn how to fight, learn how to, you know, do combat and stuff. There's that. And so another thing, Hazard, I see you starting the pole drill there. Another thing, Hazard, is roll matching. So this is an important skill in light fighters, is to always keep the pip above, in relation to, you know, your gun sight, above their box. So that's where you're rolling with them to keep that pip always above them, so you're always pitching up onto them, right? And it's better to underroll than overroll. If I do this and I overroll, then I need to go back, come through it, overroll, come back, come through it. So I would even roll at a slightly lower rate, even if you're not always there, just to keep it a lot tighter. And eventually, as you narrow that in, you get better, and you get better, you get better, right? And you also always want to take the short road. Never see it going like this way and go, oh, I'll just roll around like this and flip over. That's just wasting a bunch of time, right? And remember, Master Modes is a damage race. It is whoever gets to that kill number quickest. I don't think you need to. If PvP is genuinely something you want to do, I don't think you need to. Here's what I would recommend. Let's back out of here for just a moment. Let's focus on him for just a second here, chat. I don't think you need to spend a lot of money at all. All right. So here's the thing. All right, let's pull up this. Let's go over here. I want to talk about this too. So we will transition into this here, guys. No, Robert Space Industries. Space. There we go. All right, we're gonna zoom in a bit here just so it's easier to see on stream for y'all. Shop. Maybe not quite that much. Standalone ships and vehicles. So this is if you don't have a game package, right? So realistically, right now, if you are serious about getting into PvP, and you don't want to try any fucky stuff, there are two ships you should get, right? The Arrow or the Gladius. The Arrow is cheaper. The Arrow is harder to start on, and the pilots who do start on it do tend to be a bit more fixed in it. Like they get really used to its nose rate, and then anything else feels really sluggish to them. The Gladius is my personal favorite ship in the game. Is also where all the new flight models are designed. All the new testing is because Squadron 42. So whenever there's a new feature in the game, is always on the Gladius first. If it's like a combat ship feature, right? Like Lamp or Master Modes or anything else like that, right? The Gladius is also the baseline. This is what the whole flight model is designed around. But right now, last patch it was struggling really hard. The Arrow was completely dominant, and right now the Arrow is still a very good ship. So it'd be one of these two ships is what you should get. Now, I still would probably advocate the Gladius. The Arrow is easy to earn in game, it's cheaper, and you should be able to rent it for 0 REC in Arena Commander, right? So I would still say generally go with the Gladius. Now, if you do need to get a new starter pack, there should be the Duelist. In which case, unless they got rid of the Duelist. Did the thing freeze? I feel like here we go. Did they really get rid of the Duelist starter pack? Wait. That's wild. Okay. It's there? I don't see it. No, so okay, not this one. Not this one. There was a starter pack that had an arrow. It was the advanced duelist. It had an arrow on it. And that would have been the one. Yeah, like hold on. See, there was an advanced duelist one that had the arrow. I swear there was an advanced duelist that had the arrow. Yeah, discontinued game package that featured the Aegis Arrow fighter. Okay, I'm not crazy at least. So in that case, here's what I'm going to recommend instead. So 150 bucks, privateer. The Cutlass is bad. It is a decent cargo ship, right, for starting out, but it used to perform so much better in combat. It has been it is size 3 guns. They've all been nerfed. It used to have awesome vertical Gs and VTOL, 30 plus Gs of Excel that gave it really good authority in the fight. They said that was a bug and they nerfed it out. The Cutlass has been supplanted, sadly. What I would probably do instead is, believe it or not, I would probably do the minor starter pack because that gets you a golem, and this will open up crafting to you, right? Then you can do standalone ships and either go with a Gladius or an Arrow. Probably an Arrow now because of your budget, right? And that's gonna be about 161 USD. I would say you would need at least the Praetorian pack to get through the LRT bounties. Well then, so hold on, hear me out. So this would be how you could get the Gladius. Okay, then definitely get the Gladius instead. The Gladius is going to be way easier for you as a new player. It has double the shielding, and it has another size 3 gun, which will help in your PvE. Then in PvE, what you're going to do is do the Gillies combat missions, okay? And you're going to go up to Gillies, I believe it's number 6, and you can use M cannons. I would use M cannons or deadbolts for right now, and farm money with Gillies or stuff like this. But like I said, if you get the minor starter pack, this unlocks you the ability to craft weapons, armor, and ship components and ship weapons. Now, I don't like it very much. I'm very bad at it, and I need to learn it because crafting is never going away. But alternatively, like there are other things you can get in those packs. But the thing is the only other pack that I think would offer any long-term value to your account, it's hard to say. Like, I wouldn't fly the Aurora Mark II over a Gladius. It has some internal space. You could argue for looting, it could be a bit better, but there is a cargo on the Gladius. It's not like for a box, it's for stuff. The Salvager, this ship is only really good if you have a mothership, in my opinion. Otherwise, it's kind of just the worst Salvager. I don't like the Intrepid. The Intrepid is a very interesting ship, but I think it's a failed experiment, and its cargo is split up in 2 different areas. So yeah, like this one at least offers the long-term value to your account of you will always be able to access mining, to access crafting. Everything else here is a ship that will be supplanted. Now, the Duelist is the other popular one in this price range. This ship is very dated, the Avenger, but it is good, but it's an interceptor, and it's a very different flight method, and it's a pretty advanced flight method that is really hard for new players to actually fly well. Now, a good pilot in Avenger is scary, but to get there, you're better off learning light fighters first. Yeah, you can link something. Absolutely, Essence. Well, actually, or actually just tell me what it is, actually, because I don't think the links work in this. That's why I'm thinking this be his way into the game, because he has access to mining, he has access to scanning, he has, and then in stuff. I made all my money going in Gillies with Gotti. Yeah, red alert. Oh yeah, the red alert. Yeah. Gear. There's a little gear. Red alert. So here's what I'll say about the red alert. This stuff does look cool, and it does give you some unlimited armor at the start of every patch. But hear me out on this, okay? Hear me out on this. None of these armor sets, with the exception of this one, are actually a rare armor set. All of the rest of these, their base sets, can be gotten almost anywhere. Now, don't get me wrong, the red and black is a cool look. It's a cool look. But what you can just find in-game is cooler. And when you're wearing a bot armor set, a bot from store armor set, you're not going to want to trade out stuff from mission loot. It's going to be really annoying, because if you drop it, you lose it forever, basically, until the next patch. I know that there is item recovery tier 0 in, but as far as I saw, it did not apply to armor, weapons, or helmets. So the best thing from this pack, believe it or not, is just the backpacks, because the backpacks look good. Like this backpack looks good with any set of armor, right? But like aside from the Artem X one here, these are all very common armor sets that you like. This is just the aerial hazard suit. You can get this in any industrial station. Not in that color, but still, right? And then so the looted armor in this game is so good. The looted armor in this game, especially with all the new factions they're adding in, with all the new stuff, like I almost feel like you are setting yourself up for kind of a bit of failure by doing that. Or melt the armor for credit and buy it again when you get it back. Okay, Sky, that's a great workaround. I did not know that. It makes sense. It makes sense. But yeah. So anyways, that's my recommendation. And if anyone disagrees, that's totally okay. But because crafting isn't going away, getting access to a crafting ship, I think is valuable. Like I feel like you will always need to at least have the choice to go after crafting. Yeah, like armor is so like cool looking armor is so easy to get. Once again, the only issue I have with that essence, and just interesting, you're looking at a guy who's bought a lot of stuff, right? Like, so I am being very you know, I had this issue too. I even think I've owned that set at one point. Like here, like I bought the Top Gunner's kit, right? Just for the gun and the glasses and stuff. But when you're wearing a bot armor set, it like restricts your looting, and especially because right now you're gonna start the game without a good ship for looting. You're not gonna have any way of carrying an SU box. I feel like it's actually just going to limit your enjoyment with the game just a little bit, because you're gonna see a cool armor set and say, but I don't want to drop all of my bot armor and lose it until I reclaim it on the store. Like melt it, rebuy it again on the store, right? So you're gonna leave that otherwise cool armor on the ground. You're not gonna loot it, right? That's where I'm coming from. Especially because also you can find all this stuff in game. The problem is it's low and doesn't have the power. It is. Yeah. I'm not a miner. Yeah. Oh yeah. So there's one more thing I wanted to talk about here, guys. And so this is going to be a video. So let me go ahead and start recording. Okay. So I came across this post while watching Captain Deadwake stream back on Friday. And I really enjoyed this post, and I really enjoyed Highlander's response. So I want to preface this by saying we're about to be getting Siege of Orison and instancing into the game, and I'm somebody who's always enjoyed the sandbox side of Star Citizen way more than like the bundled mission content than the you know, like I always like just going out and doing something rather than grabbing a mission off the mission board. That's one of the reasons why I'm always so poor in games, because I'm not doing missions, I'm fucking around in the verse, right? And recently we had the a really good trading run between Ashland and Chala's Beach at Pyro 5 in Pyro. And so it was literally just between these two like planets or moons, I'm not totally certain, I think they're moons technically, that were really close to each other, and there's this trade loot that's super lucrative, and players just found it. Like we just kind of heard of it. It wasn't like announced. This wasn't like the resource drive. It was just there, and all of a sudden we got tons and tons of good PvP there. I've gone there a few times. Me and Nineball went in there. We pirated some people who were doing it. We got their stuff. We sold it. We made a couple million. We went back. We fought a not Perseus, a Polaris there, and it was some of the most fun that I've had in the game in a while. And it felt entirely organic, even though this was something that they did meaningfully. And so I want to read this post to you guys and just kind of see. I really want to cover this response here, but we're going to start with this. So this is by Rat Lord on Spectrum. See how easy it is to get engaging and meaningful PvP, CIG. With patch 4.9, we saw some new commodities added to terminals in Pyro. These specifically are of a much higher of a ROI than what we had prior. I know Partilium used to be like this back during the Partilium Wars, another cool event. What's been going on at Ashland and Chala's Beach since the start of 4.9 is a perfect example of how CIG should be using profit and greed as a carrot on a stick. Since then, we've seen a massive uptick in the amount of PvP that's purely focused on a singular objective in Pyro. We've seen traders using escorts, yep. Ground pirates, yep. Pirates being pirated, yep. PMC groups protecting random players, I haven't seen that personally. And skirmishes that involve 10 to 20 players both on foot and in the air, yes, it's been so fun. This is exactly the outlet that pirates and PvPers need, which creates a secondary benefit to all players, PvP having a purpose. I'm all for shooting someone just because you can. But the honest truth is the game is unfinished, and the mechanics that we should have in place to punish and persuade against that criminal behavior aren't in yet. True. The magic bullet here was cranking the ROI up. Pyro is risky, and while there are definitely traders that do trade commodities, the bulk of players opt to do contracted hauling. That's fine. And while it does need some tweaking in the form of requiring collateral, in my opinion, the ROI isn't really worth the risk. Then why would they just not run contracted? Exactly. CIG, I implore you to continue to add commodities around the various POIs of Pyro that have ROIs high enough to draw players there. This is the direction, this is the path. So Highlander responded. Highlander is up there at CIG, and this is one of the best responses I've seen. So once again, my issue with instancing was never that instancing was coming to the games, that I was worried they would overdo instancing and we would lose out on Sandbox. That was always my concern, because CIG likes to overdo things. Like, they just do. So, Highlander says, howdy, I worked on this. I do most of the Sandbox commodity prices, trade routes, etc. First off, I'm glad you like the new route. I've been working on getting momentum to try something like this for a while. So, this line here is only thing I kind of don't like. Is like, man, why do you have, like, if you're in charge of the Sandbox community prices, like, who's fighting you to do stuff like this? Because this is so good. Ever since the Ostian hide event went pretty well, I've been stalking Ashland in-game for a few days now. You may or may not have killed me, stolen my Lesbo, had your stuff stolen by me, or hit me with a railgun. I'm usually in a Titan or a Zeus. I'm proud to say I have lost much more UEC than I've gained since the patch dropped, and I regret nothing. This is cool. It's cool to see a dev actually saying, hey, no, I've been playing it too. I've been enjoying it too. Sometimes it does feel like they don't play their own game, right? And so at least this, you know, I'm sure he doesn't play it a ton, but he's definitely... It's definitely good. But yeah, I always prefer communicating more with y'all about the reasoning and goals behind this, so let's do that. So, CIG, I implore you to continue to add commodities and run various POIs of Pyro that have ROIs high enough to draw players there. So he says, this unfortunately isn't an infinite good content facet. Rather, this hit diminishing returns pretty quick. I want these locations to be a hotbed of danger and death. That is an intentional design goal. I'm going to say that again. I want these locations to be a hotbed of danger and death. That is an intentional design goal. That's really good, and we're going to get into that why in a second here. I want somewhere that players who log into the game and feel like they are hungry to shoot someone can go to reliably and find others who knowingly are willing to risk that. That's one of the things I love so much about Hathor. Is anyone who goes to Hathor knows they're going there for a fight. With the exception of the random player who gets sent there for a mission. I don't like, one thing I don't like that they tied missions to Hathor sites, because that is a PvP zone, and you are sending people who might just think that they're doing, you know, your average bunker mission, like to clear out Nine Tails at the OLPs. Bro, if you go there while someone's doing the event, they are going to fucking shoot you. So that's the failure that Hathor had. But like, this is the idea, right? It's a place where people go and they know what they're getting into, right? So once again, I want somewhere that players who log into the game and feel like they are hungry to shoot someone can go down to reliably and find others who knowingly are willing to risk that. Not only because that gives them the gameplay that they desire, but because it keeps more of them out of the low profit routing lanes. Player bases aren't exactly zero-sum, but they aren't that far away from it either. The more predators that are at the watering hole, the more prey that aren't at that hole can feel safer. By having a hotbed of action that people who want to pirate, people who want to fight, people who want to have PvP can go to, they aren't at the OMs. They aren't at, you know, sitting in between Levski and Sand Gateway. They aren't there where other players who don't want that content and just want to be in their own space are. This is good. This is good. This is a really good post. Now, if we add too many of these high ROI options, then that concentration wanes. And part of the risk that makes it work in the Sandbox balance to allow such high return on investment stuff falls off. Yes, so if they just ramped up the value of commodity hauling everywhere, we wouldn't see that focused hotbed of action, we would just see more piracy everywhere, and it would affect everyone, including those who may not want to be engaged in that style of behavior. Now, obviously, I'm a PvPer. I'm okay with a one-side consent coming to a fight, but I will acknowledge until we get security and stuff that we need to have these areas of focus. Like, this is like old Jump Town or old Ghost Hollow. God, I miss Ghost Hollow. Ghost Hollow was a mission on Microtech where there was a crash reclaimer that was hacked into a bank network. And if you went there, you held the site for an amount of time, you would get like 300K. Now that sounds like nothing now, but back in the day, it was way harder to make money. And that was actually really good money per hour. And so there'd be this random spot that didn't have any missions taking you there, but people would go there, and then it was a combat zone. And then those people aren't other parts of the verse doing shitter behavior, right? So we can definitely add some more in the future, but the main element that we need to add first is a better way in game for traders and pirates both to discover the current prices and how much they have shifted via supply and demand. On this note, I agree with the Techno Bear. In specific, I'd really like to add an interstellar route that only sells 24 SU crates exclusively, so we can push for more large ship sandbox gameplay to happen around there. As a reminder to everybody, I don't speak for the whole company. Please don't snip my comments out of context and post them on Reddit. At the very least, get them in context this time. Hopefully I provided the context, Highlander. Highlander, if you ever see this, which you won't, but if you ever see this, this is one of the best messaging that I've seen on Sandbox forever. This tells me that there are still people at CIG that are caring about the Sandbox, and it just makes me feel better about instancing because, like, listen, I was never against instancing the concept. I was always worried it would be overdone and the Sandbox would suffer. That was always my issue with instancing. And seeing such a smart post from Highlander here, this is genuinely one of the smartest things I've ever read about this game. Just gives me a lot of hope back. Yeah. If Bunker Missions used to pay like 5 to 10K, no. It used to be way harder to make money in this game. This is really, really good. And the fact that Ashland and Chalice has been so fun and so full of combat, I think if we just had these not super frequently, but like 1 or 2 routes popping up a month that are different, don't tell anyone about them. Give us ways of finding them in game, right? Like if it's like a thing where it's like, here's resource drive, go now to this location, then it's going to also bring in kind of, I don't know. I feel like that would dilute it a bit. Right now, the people who found Ashlands and Chalice and who are fighting there are the people who are plugged in and who want that style of stuff, right? Hotbeds for actual genuine PvP types to compete against other PvP types is great, but that isn't 100% of that group by any stretch of the imagination. Okay. Gateway and OM campers aren't there for profit. They're there to harass and grief, nothing more. That's been the core issue since the start. Sure, but for example, in my org, we do a lot of piracy. We do a lot of lane snaring, and we don't make a lot of money. But we do it because that's the gameplay that we want. Now you can say that's griefing, or that's something else like that. But like, this lets us bring our entire org together. We have our fighter wing, we have our boarding crews, we have our salvaging and our cargo wings all together in one spot, working together, attempting to make something out of piracy, right? And I think there are a lot of players who go to Hathor just to fight. I'm one of them, right? There are a lot of players who like profit does not need to justify combat. If you're having fun, you're having fun. Right? And like, there's nothing wrong with being a child of combat, but you're right. That's something that the people who are doing the OM stuff are usually griefers. But if there's someone who logs in and they just want combat, having a spot for them to go will help. I still think this is really good. Obviously, this doesn't fix griefing, but what this does do is honestly, there is a lot of legitimate PvP that happens that people call up griefing. Genuine griefing, pad ramming, OM, seal bashing, gate camping and stuff, yeah. But you know, for example, lane snaring piracy, I would argue that's genuine PvP. Hathor, that's genuine PvP. I still think it's a misplay for missions to send people to Hathor, but that is 100% a PvP location. Pyro, just getting shot in Pyro, that's not griefing. That's what Pyro is, right? I wish PvP gave more money. I'm gonna be poor my whole life, dude. That's why I'm the hobo and murder hobo, right? But yeah, so this was a really, really good post. Once again, obviously this doesn't fix griefing, but I think what fixes griefing is, okay, fixing is bold. Fixing is bold. There will always be griefing, but what will help a lot is an actual workable high sec, mid sec, low sec, right? Because the way I view it, and you may not view it this way, and that's totally okay if you don't. If we disagree, that's okay. All right. I view it as when you log into Star Citizen, you are consenting to PvP. Because Star Citizen is a PvP game, right? There are safe zones in open PvP. The struggle with that is there's not a tiered level to threat. The crime stat system has entirely failed as of right now because they have not upkept it, right? There's really no disadvantage for the player who ganks in Stanton versus the player who ganks in Nyx, who ganks in Pyro, right? And there should be. Pyro should be completely just fucking dark forest. It's all, you see another ship, it's like, okay, do I run? Do I kill? In theory, when we have social tools, do I talk? Will come into that equation. Social tools is needed. But in Stanton, I really do believe it should be you know, mid-sec. Obviously, Castra and Terra are going to be high-sec. But what we have right now simply isn't good enough. And players should know by where they are what level of threat they should expect. Okay? And that's what Star Citizen fails to right now. Right now, everywhere is basically null-sec. Even with crime stats, everywhere is practically null-sec. And so we have space rust. That's what we have. And not everyone plays it that way. And that's probably for the good of the game. But that's like definitely what we're getting into, right? And so let's go over here, stream beats. I think once we have actual high sec, once we have actual mid sec, once we have actual null sec, then people will feel a lot less griefed. Because while there will always be the guys who pirate, who Gladius by far essence. So okay, the Wolf is great. I love the Wolf. It has good styling. It sounds awesome. It's a good ship. But by the Wolf, you live or die by the weapons. They are bespoke. That means they are built into the frame of the ship. And you only have 2 weapons options on the Wolf. And right now, both options are just bad. They're not as bad as they were last patch, but they are just bad. So by the way, Essence, this entire armor set, I looted from 1 mission. So like, you can, except the backpack I purchased. But this is why I say, like, don't spend real money on armor. You can get cool armor really quick in this game. Okay? I can even show you where to get it, and you can probably get it in your very first day in verse, right? Also, there was somebody on one of my like last streams last night who was asking me to buy them a game package, and I'm like, yeah, maybe. Can you get your PC on it? Yeah. Well, so yes, absolutely, Callus. We fully agree there. And once again, I know I say this frequently, but I just, even when we disagree, you're somebody who I deeply respect, and I really enjoy talking with you because we have our contrasting views, right? But I think right now encouraging these sites for genuine PvP, like Ashland and Chalice, is still just really good for the game. It doesn't solve griefers, but it does still, once again, it gives people a place to go who want to fight that isn't just places where other players might be. Like, I have in the past, and you could call this griefing, it's probably, you can, I have within the org locked down Everest Harbor, Seraphim Station, because we wanted to get a big fight, you know, And we're like, hey, if we deny access to one of these spots, we're gonna get a big fight. And we got huge, awesome, really fun fights. And that was fun for us, not because we were saying, fuck you, you can't go where you are. It wasn't to this slot. We just got a huge cinematic fight, right? And we broadcasted it in chat and everything, like, all right, hey guys, we you know, X fleet is locking down Seraphim. Come fight us, knock us out if you want to land. Otherwise, we're blockading it, right? Oh my god, I want to see it. I think most people who are genuine about the game want it to succeed. What do we even have here? Torpedoes, interesting. I was just curious what was in the shops here. Yeah. Like, as long as you do it, you make it public. Like, it is technically griefing, but like, it is a really cool way to get a big like server versus you thing, right? And usually by the end of it, most people have more fun because of it. Now, once again though, like if you get caught out before anything is clearly communicated, it can still suck. And I think it is still technically griefing, but I'm blockading Standing Gateway with my Odin right now. What will you guys do about it? Let's not talk about the Odin. I'm so upset about the Odin. Dune Awakening is the perfect example, of what happens in MMOs when devs ignore warnings and learn the griefer slot. Yeah. I would argue, Catalyst. Dune Awakening didn't fail because of PvP. Hold on. I know that's a bold statement. Because Dune Awakening failed because it fundamentally launched as two different games under one game. The Haga Basin game that you played, the early game, was entirely different to Deep Desert. Different metas, different requirements, and of course different expectations of conflict. Now there were PvP zones in Haga Basin, but those were rare and most areas weren't, right? You had people building bases right next to each other being neighborly in Haga Basin. The second you go to the Deep Desert, the game is entirely and deeply different, and it is a harsh transition that basically nobody was given warning about or prepared for, right? And so if you played through your first 100 hours of that game and really liked it and then got to Haga Basin, the game that you were enjoying stopped being that game and became a different game. Now, if the game started and was always Deep Desert with obviously on-ramps, it would need on-ramps, right? It would still need a level of progression. Sort of, it wouldn't have been nearly as popular, and I'll fully give you that, but I don't think it would have had the same sharp regression. Once again, it's all about managing player expectations. If a player expects to go into a game and to fight, they're not going to be upset about it, right? Like, nobody buys Battlefield 6 and goes, why are you PvPing? Because it's clearly communicated. Because most players don't thoroughly research the games that they're buying. Most players will watch a streamer, watch a YouTube video, or come across an ad, and then they'll give it a try. Like, I don't know, like, how many people really deeply do a deep dive into reviews, into multiple different videos, doing various different things before they purchase the game. Usually not. Yeah, no, I fully yeah, but here's the thing: games like Rust succeed, games like Tarkon succeed, games like PUBG succeed. To say that you can't have a successful PvP game is not true, right? How the fuck do I get out of here? Is it this way? Nope, that's a juice bar. I mean, yeah, but okay, Planet Side 2. That's an MMO. I think the increasing number of cheaters and exploits like that has soured people's opinions of PvP games. Yeah, Planet Side 2 was really good. It's really dated now, but it's really good. All I'm saying is we have to manage expectations, and honestly, by that, rest in peace, I know, yeah. By those same metrics, I mean, Star Citizen isn't really a traditional MMO either, right? Star Citizen is doing things very different to traditional MMOs, both to its detriment and to its benefit, right? Like we all acknowledge that Star Citizen has tons of problems. We do. I thought it ate my ironclad, but now I'm realizing I'm not where I should be. I should be at Levski. That's where I logged out. I've been kidnapped. Pull out our bash, one of our bashers.
Your vehicle has been moved to our stop. Vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle has please visit us again.
LTP is acting up. That makes me scared to bring the ironclad out. Maybe today we will leave the ironclad in berth because we have a lot of supplies on there. I used to be a PvP only player and just put thousands of hours of battle, but as I got older I started enjoying a good balance of PvP and PvE, and the bad balance isn't there yet in Star Citizen. Let me read that again. I used to be a PvP only player and just put thousands of hours in Battlefield, but as I got older and I started enjoying a good balance of PvP and PvE, and balance isn't there yet in SC. Since the PvE missions are better and more rewarding than I can say it might be, but it's not yet. Okay, hold on, Dirty. Obviously, Dirty, you know I'd like you a lot, my man. I don't. PvE is dramatically more rewarding than PvP in this game. Like, I'm broke because I PvP so much, because all you do is lose money when you PvP. Like, even even if you pirate, you lose way more than you gain usually. Yes, SC Media has the shield. SC Media is for cliffs. Also, like, while we're talking about it, like, I don't think anybody would argue that being griefed is hyper common in Star Citizen 30. It's annoying, especially because when it happens, it's usually a high impact. You've been mining, you've been hauling contracted cargo, you've been setting up your ship for an hour before you can get to play, and then you go and get attacked. But I really don't think griefing is common at all. Now, unless you go to a place and you're not aware of it, like you go to Hathor and you don't know what you're getting into, right? You go to Chala's, you don't know what you're getting into. Like, The amount of times that you can literally never see another player in this game aside from at stations and just go and do missions is like 99% of the time. So like, obviously people have heavy emotions about it, but being grief is not a common experience.
Even trying to clear that one out.
Like, let's be real here. We're talking a lot about stuff, and like I actively go out and seek PvP, and there are several streams where I will be in Hathors or in places and I get nothing. So what I hope Aeon does is they merge the systems. Oh, I probably missed it. In essence, I apologize. Let me scroll up here. Dirty, that's just something I can't do constantly, so. Dirty, have you been working on your rep? If you play the game infrequently and stuff, like even I, because I mostly PvP, I have bad rep. But if as you rep up, you get a lot more missions that pay out a lot better. Like a lot better. And honestly, one of the best ways of making money in the game is Santhan Gillies combat. Right now, both you can make money both by scavenging and by mining, by selling on UEX, which isn't what most do, right? Oh, it's if you cal. If you want the Apex Sunglasses people sell for a lot, build up the Reco missions, the one where you have the scan 5 dead crew members, the cat wreck. Yeah. We found some, yes, last night actually. And I let who I was playing with, I think it was 9ball or maybe Silhouette, have them. Should be in the minor starter kit. I've heard some the arguments along with that. If there isn't a combat ship I should get, I spend more. Okay. If you want to learn PvP, it's the Arrow or the Gladius. If you want to just make money doing PvE with a combat ship, honestly, an M80 is really good. The Guardian, the base Guardian, the size 5s is decent. The heavy fighters do shine in PvE because of that. But honestly, I would say, yeah, get a Gladius, go ahead and give these missions to earn money. And so yeah, the mining starter kit. Yes, the Golem is the weakest miner in the game, but it still will open up the ability for you to do mining, so you can craft things, whether it's crafting the armor. And like right now, every mission gives you dozens and dozens of blueprints. Oh, I agree. Yeah, I agree, Callus. The Arrow right now might technically be a bit better, but the thing with the Gladius is it doesn't turn quite as fast, which is both a good and a bad thing. It's a good thing because it will be less overwhelming for a new player. But also, it has 2 shields, which usually gives you a bit more survivability than the Arrow. Though right now that whole thing is fucked up. In theory, the Gladius should be tankier than the Arrow. With ballistics from last patch and still how things are kind of weird, it kind of isn't. But it's still, That's the ship you should get if you want to learn the flight model and learn PvP. And then what I recommend, Essence, is how are you gonna fly? Are you gonna be mouse and keyboard? Do you have a stick? Do you have pedals? And if you just have mouse and keyboard, that's totally fine. But one thing I would recommend for PvP is you look at trying to get pedals, because you need at least one analog access for roll. The roll matching is super important. Roll matching is one of the most important things about advanced flight. So yeah, you can get cheap sim racing pedals even. Like it doesn't have to be rudder, like mill sim or rudder pedals or anything like that, right? There is a couple loot ships. Let's take a peek at what you guys have. So this is one of the cool things about these missions out here in Nyx that they just added in. So these missions, so that one's open, that one's not. All right. You open. You still have some stuff in you. Let's just take a look. I haven't played much in 4.9, so things could be better since the weapon changes. I haven't done Hath or anything in 4.9. I don't mind PvP. Like I said, I enjoy PvP. But it was always getting ganked by arrows and a few other light fighters were aiming Percy. Oh, this bug's annoying. Alright, we will just all F4 and come back in. Okay, so. Yeah. Ganking is a problem. Ganking is a problem that was created by master modes. Right? Because what master modes did was it turned the fight into a damage race, and it got rid of a lot of the skill of doing a group fight out of the game. So before master modes, we actually had a pretty much an unlocked speed limiter. It wasn't infinite speed, but what you could reach max speed in nav mode was basically what you would have just to fly and fight. And you wouldn't need to turn off your shields to jump or do anything like that, right? You didn't need to turn off your flares or anything like that to go away. You would just press B, turn on your quantum drive, and go. But because of those higher speeds, players who were not very skilled would always just hold W in coupled mode towards where they wanted to go, and they would let go when they get there. Now, at such high speeds, the ships couldn't slow down. So they would do what's called jousting, where they would just launch by, get like 1 or 2 shots on targets, launch by, turn around, rejoust. This was one of the problems with the old flight model, right? But what it did is, if you fought a group of low skill people, they would not be able to stay close to you, and then you would be able to see one guy coming in, see he's coming at a really high delta speed, back strafe as he's coming up to you, then pre-turn like this. So as he goes by, you then accelerate behind him and you can catch him. This was called a delta merge, or J-hook. They were a very fun technique, and it would allow you, if you were skilled and you could manage your craft's energy, you could turn a 1v8 into 8 1v1s. That is gone because of nav mode dropping to SEM, instantly dropping your speed down to SEM speeds. Merging and staying close is very easy in this mode, which makes team fights really, really, really easy to just get there and stay there. And so now that there's no skill in getting to the fight, it's all about numbers, and the long time to kill, where I need to shoot you for 10 seconds, you need to shoot me for 10 seconds, but you got 10 guys, so you all gotta shoot me for 1 second before I die. This is why ganking's a problem, right? And so the only way to recreate that old behavior, right, is to force them into and out of nav repeatedly, right? So you need to constantly be very carefully managing. If you're in a fighter, what the fuck? I just realized Oh, yeah, all F4 is broken. I forgot all F4 is broken. Well, that's annoying.
Welcome to the
I forgot all F4 is broken.
system.
What do I want to do?
Please visit us again.
I kind of just killed my desire to do that mission back there. We're at Pyro Gateway, right? No, we're at Stanton Gateway. I think my country's the only six I did. Ooh. So no. Okay, hold on. I disagree with just playing a group. I play solo 99% of the time, even though I have an org and stuff. The game should be balanced, in my opinion, primarily around small groups or solos. They shouldn't cater just to the large orgs, right? No, I fully agree. I fully agree with that, Dirty Duck. But what you need to do then is first, of course, in any 1vx, it's going to be a hard fight, and you're going to need to have options. If you just want to not deal with it, right? If you just want to not deal with it, then you should get a Buccaneer. You should get a Meteor or an M80, right? Because those are interceptor tuned, and while those ships don't turn fight and don't duel very well, they have the speed to get away from those other ships, right? If you are flying a fighter, you need to nav run. You need to drop noise, nav out, get away, come back, and try to stretch them out into the fight. Exactly. Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly. Catalyst. Now if they have a Mantis, then you really want to be in a interceptor. And there's no easy way of knowing that. You have to kind of just ask what they are or figure out what's good with their stats. If you're in a slow ship, yeah, the group's gonna have a pretty easy time getting you. If they turn off nav, but fighting a group is always really challenging this patch. And it has been, and it will be until we get the new flight model, because the flight model encourages group ganking. It's really hard to punch up in the groups. There are things like stealth that can also help with that. Ooh, you know what? That could be fun.
Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility. Vehicle selected. Please stand by. Goodbye.
Biggest problem is the org gameplay isn't really in the game yet, unless they create the gameplay themselves, so they are forced to do things you would see small groups or solos doing. Tactical strike groups, Hathor, lane snaring, piracy. There's lots of stuff orgs can do. There's lots of stuff that, yeah, I'm not sure. Like, there's tons of pinnacle in-game stuff for orgs to do. Like, it's very rare you see a solo complete Hathor. Even when I tried it, I ended up getting one or two guys to join me. On this time model, I hope they make it so turn-based night fighters are slow in a straight line. They're very different than Boom and Zoom. I mean, we already have that. We already have that catalyst.
Okay.
It's just all is entirely determined by the boost gauge, which is stupid. We already have that. That is literally what we have. Like, to a T right now.
To the ASOP vehicle.
Like, not like, maybe I'm misunderstanding exactly what you mean, but just to show you, I mean, if we do compare, let's do Gladius. That's the default light fighter, right? Let's do, whoa, what is this new compare screen? I've not seen this one yet. Let's do Buccaneer. All right, summary chart, right? So right here is the speed. So just natively, they're a little faster, but then in boost, they're dramatically faster. And then you see right here, boost duration, right? So this boost duration is dramatically longer and they're dramatically faster. They will always get away in a boost. If we want to extend this over to like heavy fighters, what we can do is we can do the F8, rest in peace F8, and we can do the Scorpius. So that's the fastest one there. Same deal, right? So Scorpius is dramatically faster in speed. In fact, this boost speed is the Scorpius's regular speed, and then it's way faster there, way more boost duration. I fully agree. Yeah, boost shouldn't use a gauge, it should use fuel. Also, even in nav running, if you look, see, even when you nav, you're way faster. And we can go back once again to the Gladius and the Buck. You see that same trend there, right? So we get that right now, right? Boost, I agree, boost is a problem. I don't like boost. I don't like the speed wall we have in SEM. I feel like the game is like kind of dying. Am I right, guys?
Vehicle selected. Stand by.
Like, it's not letting me recover a vehicle now. Like, I mean, just 2 streams ago, Dirty, we had a big group fight at Chala's. There was a reclaimer, there was they had fighter support, they had a crewed Polaris. Like, there's stuff for orgs to do. Let's see, it was, yeah. PvP and hunting for rare components. We didn't do any hunting for rare components. We barely even flew the Ironclad that stream. We just got caught up in the fights, right? Yeah, so here we are, and we were grouped up. We just had viewers grouping up here to take on this group, and yeah. Lots of huge combat here. This was that Chala's and Ashland that we were talking about earlier on the stream with the with the stuff. Cope hammer in the back there, yeah. This Polaris, we shipped all the weapons off of. They had gunners, they had guys going around repairing and stuff. Like, what we needed was we really needed an Ares Inferno, which they finally made viable because they've removed the pen on the cannons, which I'm not saying I fully agree with, but by making the cannons only good for surface level penning, we needed that Inferno and that Gatling to punch high, to actually like take out like its stuff. But yeah. Like, there's tons of stuff you went into with large groups that are doing it.
Welcome to the ASOP vehicle.
Scrap your ships at a location where there's none stored. Okay. Log out and back in.
Goodbye.
Right? The Reclaimer Polaris combo, yeah. Ares was there. He answered the call. I would even argue, that for the average player, Wicklow is almost exclusively an org activity. It's so hard to do the Wicklow big ship solo. Now, if you're a madman like Silhouette of the Dawn, then yeah, you can solo that. But yep, I knew you would re-get that, so. Yeah, no, it was funny because in my org, when it was revealed that Xenothreat was there to attack Wicklow, we were like, a lot of them were like, "Yo, can we help?" Like. I would argue that right now the game is too group focused. Like, for example, as somebody who likes the PvP, there's not many ships I can fly that give me access to multi-role that I still feel like don't limit me. The closest one is the Shiv, and even then, the Shiv is basically a Super Hornet, which I don't really like. With that, the flight model is somebody who has one fighter and one multi-crew ship, or one multi-role ship, one cargo ship, and something else, will always do better than just one guy or two guys in one mixed ship right now. But yeah, dirty. It's also possible to, you know, do exec hangars or to do the new Battaglia missions, those drop ships, right? Like, there are ways to get ships that don't require just making money. Yeah, no, look, the Shiv is fine, but the Shiv is a Super Hornet. The Super Hornet Mark II, not Mark 1. I haven't flown the Mark 1 in a long time. I wonder what even comes on it. I should kit out my Hornet Ghost. Let's do that. What's on the insured loadout? Nothing on the insured loadout. Cool. I'm gonna do free.
Your vehicle has been moved to our storage facility. Vehicle selected. Stand by. Your vehicle has been delivered to please visit us again.
Yeah, no, the C-788s are a problem. Okay, revision. The C-788s are really good. Part of me doesn't hate them because they have added value back to the Hornet. They've added value back to the Guardian MX. They've added value back to the Talon that otherwise didn't have it. There's one for you in PvP testing, Cal. Yeah, what's up, Catalyst? There's a few people chatting claiming they're nasty on the Basher. Try the scatterguns on the Basher. Okay, okay. Ooh. So scatterguns on the Basher I've seen, and I fought against it. And I fought against it in a laser lobby. Right? The problem with scatterguns is not their damage or even lack thereof. It's their velocity. They're very slow. And the Basher is a very speed-limited craft. It needs to stay close. It needs to use a lot of boost. It can stay close, but just can't stay close for long. And that, while that is a problem for somebody who's used to the Gladius or who wants to knife or who wants to stay close to, like, say, an arrow, it's not even inherently poor design. Because the Basher does like to stay at mid-range with its turn rate. It still would be nice to have more speed on that, but because of that, it struggles to actually maintain a position where you're going to be using most of the alpha of those. So, especially if you are fighting a ballistic loadout. So I was doing Basher v Basher. I actually have it recorded, I believe. I have it recorded because it was in JD's training lobby. And once again, it was lasers only, but against ballistics, I feel like you would just get out DPS'd. Because they're gonna hit you more at range. Sure, you will do a good job of keeping shields down. Because you do get a high hit percentage, but you're not gonna do a lot of damage with those with that high hit, right? So in general, I don't particularly like the scatterguns. I have not tried it personally, but like I said, I have fought it. The Basher is an interesting platform for them. That is absolutely true. Sure. Absolutely. Who are you? Solstice that was an ironclad. Alright, let's head to Microtech. Should have enough fuel for that jump. So like flak is one idea that people constantly use to say like that would be a good thing for anti-fighter. My problem with flak is we already have like anti-fighter turrets on like say like the Kami or something, which are size 3s or whatever, right? And they just don't work, right? Like no one ever uses them, they aren't good enough. If the flak was super overpowered, that'd be one thing. But then you're also on like say like limited turret ships like the Polaris. Would a Polaris actually want to use flak turrets over turrets that could damage another large ship in a close like furball fight? That's why I would just rather that just the general weaponry be good. I would rather just the turret just be better with the general weaponry, right? Like I would rather just it has higher velocity, it has better you know, one of the biggest problems with turrets is almost no turret can look directly vertically up. Almost no turret has good coverage. There's always a safe spot against one turret for a fighter. You say, oh, we'll just have more guys in there. Well, yeah, but the time to killing a turret is so much faster than killing a ship. Good versus all is kind of the core problem in the game right now with meta shifts. Well, no, players will always gravitate towards the most meta of anything, right? Basically, we want to encourage that these turrets get used, though, right?
Polaris should just be able to swap between armor piercing and canister shot IMO. Swappable fire modes would be interesting. So those side turrets are so easy though to fully sequester off, right? Is more so the Polaris design. I shouldn't be going the individuals. We're talking concepts here, but like I do think as part of the problem is just that turrets are very easy to kill, and I understand why they are, because we want fighters to still have something to do even in a big fight. But like, it makes it very hard to balance when you just need to make sure you have a fighter that has enough alpha to get the turret down. Like, once again, against that Polaris, we shipped off all of its weaponry. All of its weaponry, long before we ever had a chance of actually killing it. Yeah. They need to do that catalyst, and then they need to increase turret track rates. They need to increase arcs of fire. You've kind of fixed the point blank issue because with the radar limitations, like you can't sit at 2K and shoot at a large ship anymore. Polaris and Perseus backwards. Percy needs canister shot AP. That could be cool. I mean, you could do the exact same thing though by putting ballistic shotguns on the size 3 slots. Yeah. I would argue all turrets need to be better. The Percy, the Paladin, even though the Paladin as a whole ship isn't doing well, but the Paladin size 5 turret is good. The Hurricane and the Scorpius are the only good turrets in the game. But like, yeah. See, and that's the angle where I come from a cast. Like, flak would be okay, but I feel like we are further devaluing turrets, right? Like, I don't want somebody to be like, oh yeah, who wants to come crew my ship, and you only get people crewing it for the big guns, right? And that's what you get right now because nobody wants to sit on a size 3 turret, right? Nobody wants to sit on a size 3 turret, and flak might just be that same experience. Whereas if turrets were just in general a lot more lethal against most things, that their sizes made sense. Like, I'm still of the mind that laser weapons should get a portion of their damage from the size of the power plant. And the larger your power plant, the more your laser weapons do damage. So like a size 3 gun on a Connie does way more damage than a size 3 gun on a Gladius. Obviously, well, I do fully agree with you, and I advocate that they need to have velocity buff. I think if they are a manned turret, and I don't mean like manned versus remote, I mean if there's a player in the turret. If there is a player using the turret, it should have the velocity buff. If it is an AI blade, or if it is a NPC crew member, it shouldn't. It should just have the regular velocity, just to still encourage the use of players over NPCs when possible. Yeah, I just, if we're doing flak, maybe that's the alternative ammo type, and it's just a long, maybe not long, but like let's say a 10-second swap. Nope, 5-second swap, right? Because what we want to avoid is people sitting in the turret doing nothing, getting bored. Turret gameplay needs all the help it can get. I would be okay with a patch where turrets were horrifically overpowered and the meta shifted to using turreted ships. Like, it would be wild and different and probably not good long term, but like, just to test things out, yeah. So, what happened to my nose? Why is my nose damaged? Did we bump anything? Huh. But anyways, I know flak is coming. Don't get me wrong. I know flak is a thing that is going to exist and keep existing. I still would want, let's say for example, you're on like an MSR or something, or so many of the other older ships that just kind of have crap sized turrets. I'd rather those just be better versus you giving up like say a freelancer or a cutlass or a shiv, just giving up part of your firepower for purely anti-fighter. I don't know. I'd be more okay with a flak based PDC that is designed to go versus fighters and that needs to be targeted and take it out, as long as it still probably caps and not being able to damage heavy fighters. Yeah, it's going to wave 1. I'm not sure if I want to play it a whole heck of a lot, because the main attraction of 410 is the Siege of Orison that I just have no interest in. It's just not my gameplay, right? And that's okay. Not everything is for me. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, whereas it would kind of be terrible. It'd be like, basically to get flacker in the game right now would be like running shredders. I know it's not quite the same. You'd have a much higher hit rate, yada yada yada. But like, that's the reason why everyone abandoned shredders, is because they couldn't damage the large ships anymore. So at Microtech, we should be able to get bombs. We should be able to get the C788s. We should be able to get our... So what should we pair with the C788s? Should we pair a laser weapon to try and get them a little higher? Or should we pair another ballistic weapon for more damage? I'm almost thinking 2 M cannons. And then two sword cannons. But I don't know. Swords are a good combo in general for just the fighter stuff. Ballistics does mean more stealth. You are totally right. I do love the Hornet Ghost, though. It is one of my favorite medium fighters in the game. It'll be good. I really should have checked it out sooner, but I was so focused on the Basher and stuff. I think it's going to be a good patch for the Hornet Ghost. Does anyone else feel like the patch cadence is too fast, though? Like, maybe it's just me wanting a stable meta that I can play and bite my teeth into. But I feel like with how quick the meta is changing, the weapons are changing, like, it can be fun to like figure it out, but man, like, I kind of hate feeling like, man, I want to have another one patch where the Hornet Ghost is good and another patch where it's trash again, right? I love New Babbage. It's my favorite spot in the entire game, I think. When it comes to a landing zone, maybe somewhere in Nyx will eventually supplant it. I love that you can fly through it. I love that it has everything I need. I don't love the frame drops I'm getting right now. There we go. Frames, please. Oh, we're gonna die and lose the ship, aren't we? Oh my god, these frame drops are just gnarly when you're trying to low fly. Okay. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I should stop. I wanted to low fly through the town on the way over, but the frame rate is not cooperating. Can I at least do the bobsled run? Prospector, going out to do some mining. God, frame rate. God, frame rate, you are terrifying me. Okay, we didn't lose a wing to death like it for a second there. A stable game would be cool, yeah. Yeah.
Landing gear deployed.
To be fair though, I'm not sure I can bring the frame drops on the game. I think I need to like wipe my PC and start fresh soon.
Landing complete. All systems offline.
I'm really upset about the old F4 trick being broken right now. That did kind of kill my enthusiasm to do a lot that required investment or looting, because now good chance you're losing your ship. You know, I kind of get why crime stat 1 exists, but it really does just feel silly to always look down and see that I have a crime stat, and yet it impacts my gameplay 0.
Hi, and welcome to New Baggage.
Want to get chased around by the meter maids? I don't know, like... It just feels like there's no consequences to it, you know? Like, I got this crime stat by shooting a guy at a station. Oh, frame rate, what is going on, my guy? Just full died. New laggage. Yep. Realistically, though, like all of the landing zones have these issues.
The capsule will be leaving the station momentarily. Careful.
Lag skeevers, new laggage. Lagville. Everlag Harbor. Yeah. My bugging or is your hairline lagging too? No, it is. It's with like the light. It was definitely flickering a bit.
The capsule will be leaving the station.
In real life? Oh. Well, okay. I have no idea what you mean by that, my guy. Yeah. Like, my hair may be messy, but I don't think receding. I got pretty thick hair. New cabbage. New cabbage. Alright, let's get the ship loadout set up here. So, yeah, that would be 2 great swords, 2 broadswords, and C788s for a full stealth build. So yeah, this would not be a very good PvE build. Let's see. Does that one go through? I think so. And then we need the... I think it's this turret is what we need. And then let's do task forces. And then we want the bomb rack. I think it's 2 of these is what we want. And then thunderballs. And I think with that we can do it. Not an insult, your hair is genuinely bouncing due to green screen, I think. Maybe. Maybe. Alright, so changes quick. Oh, we need the nose turret, that's what we need. That's gonna be where our bombs are, right under there. That's interesting. That's kind of cool. C788. C788. Oh, is this one bugged? That would be a shame. Yeah, you can replace the internal ones with that. Let's see, hold on. There might be a way for us to do something here. But that's the default one. This is the new Mark II one. But is the one that gives it more missiles broken? So here's this turret. Vehicle weapons. No, I'm still not getting anything to put in there. That's weird. Has anyone else had this on their Hornet? You see, I can put it on the nose turret. It's an old bug. Should I like unlock ports and manually add? I've never ran into it. Like 4.7? Really? Guess I wasn't using the Hornet a whole heck of a lot on 4.7. Is there a workaround? Weird. Take it from your own Super Hornet. Well, it was both turrets. It was even the other turret. Now see, look here, vehicles, select ship. Why do they dupe? So look, so see, you can't put anything on that one. Then we take the regular turret. Can't put anything on it. Bro, I'm not gonna buy a Super Hornet just to do that. That is quite annoying. Try buying some gimbals? Okay. That's a shame. The Ghost is my favorite Hornet. Yeah, I'm not buying a Super. it was gimbals. Sort of. Sort of. The gimbals work. The missile rack slot does not work. I wonder now if I pull it up, if I could bring, if I could tractor it onto it. Let's try the other one really quick. Hold on, actually. No, the other one that doesn't even take the gimbals. Ugh. These Belvita breakfast biscuits I'm eating are very dry.
Capsule now approaching station. Stand clear of disembarking passengers.
Hello, teleporting
The capsule will be leaving the station.
thing. All right. What's bad about the Odin, if I can ask? The ship is too big. I think it looks awesome. That's all I know. Oh god, the Odin. Okay. So, the Odin exists because they put as one of the stretch goals for their Kickstarter way back in the day. They reached X amount of money. They will reach a it does work. Okay. They will make a battle cruiser. That's why the Odin exists. However, they never said that the battle cruiser would be the biggest and best ship of all time. They never said it would be the largest ship in the game. In fact, by definition, a battle cruiser should not be a large ship. So in naval doctrine, a battle cruiser is a cruiser, a smaller ship with less armor that has been given the armament of a battleship. So it is a lighter, faster, smaller ship with really big guns. What they decided to make instead was make a $4,000 e-penis enlargement pill and basically say, hey guys, you hated the balancing of the Idris, you thought the Idris was bad for the game, and the Idris, which should be a really cool, really awesome experience to see in game, is now just a really annoying, really frustrating experience where everyone's like, well, there's Tim, who spent $1,400 in the game flying it solo doing box missions. Let's give you that $4,000 version. It has six pilot operated lasers. 6, not one from the Idris. It has the most armor. It's the biggest ship in the game. It's got these big ultra large turrets. It's got big interior hangar, right? It is the biggest E-Wing solo box runner everywhere. And instead of it slotting into the existing ships, keeping the value of the Javelin, keeping the value of the Bengal eventually there, it's just, nope, here you go.
All right.
Why do you think that, Essex?
Enjoy the rest of your visit.
Why do you think that? And there's a lot of stuff bigger than a Mauler. It's really big. Yes, yeah. Tim needs all those lasers for box missions. Yeah, it is really big. That stops nobody from flying anything solo right now. Until they put their money where their mouth is on making these ships require crew, they don't require crew. I could pull up my Polaris right now, go win it solo. I could pull up, you know, if I owned an Idris, I would, like, Idrises are literally 9 times out of 10 one guy, right? The reason why I love the Perseus so much is because they actually encourage multi-crew gameplay. Can't fly in Atmo? We don't know that. I mean, the whole series is not supposed to fly in Atmo, and yet they do all the time. Well, the whole sea, I should say. Yeah, but the Jab isn't in game yet. Where the fuck are my guns? I swear we bought the size 3s. Chat, did we not buy the size 3s? I swear we bought the size 3s. Chat, the turret works. Chat, the turret works. The missiles might not work, but the turret works. I just must have not actually bought the size 3s. In today's example of Eric is not a smart man. Cal is not a smart guy. There's a lot that has to change before we feel balanced, but it's likely 5 years out that would be putting the game functionally. So the good news is the game has to be very different by the time it hits. Sure, it's just there is frustration, right, from the community about the pilot-operated weaponry on the Idris. Nobody likes the Idris. Nobody likes the Idris. Because the Idris, instead of being a cool, oh my god, they have an Idris, they must be running their entire org out of that thing. They must be operating it with a full crew. Like, man, that's the big threat. It's, oh yeah, there's Tim with his edict. And even if he doesn't kill you, which he will struggle to, realistically, that is a one-person ship right now that you can't do anything to. And he can do stuff to you. Now, it's not likely that he'll hit, but if he does, yeah, he can ruin your day, right? Idrises are the most annoying things. And how are orgs using them? They're using them the same way that solos are using them, with one guy in them, because you get 90% of the function of the ship from just the pilot seat. The turrets have terrible arcs, bad placement. The frickin' PDCs are fine, right? But like, engineering became kind of a joke. It wasn't really required at all. So literally 9 times out of 10, if you're running an Idris, you're gonna be running it with one solo pilot, maybe one other guy, and then you want everyone else either out of a either out of the ship as a carrier, which is still kind of LARP in and of itself, even though I love carrier stuff. But yeah, I see a lot of wild bobs running around solo Idris, which is undeniably the best light fighter of the game right now. Exactly, right? This will be fun when there are 6 Odins at a PT and you're gonna be getting 0.001 FPS. Why does that alone determine from when to play? I love team gameplay from like most vehicles. That feels lazy as fuck. Yeah, and so it was heavily criticized. The Idris has been heavily criticized as one of the least fun additions to the game in a long time. And like at least the Polaris required 2 people, right? The Polaris was at least 2 people. Still not great, but you know. And then the Perseus is the best designed multi-crew ship in the game because the pilot does have stuff to do. The pilot does have torps. The pilot does have 2 size 3s. It is a fun ship to fly and to turn and to do everything else with. But the hero guns, those Medusa cannons, are on turrets, and so you always want to actually crew that ship if you're running a Perseus. Like, nobody solos a Perseus into PvP. Now they might daily drive it because that's what the ship they have, that's what they enjoy. Like AT, not AT, sorry, 9ball has been soloing a Perseus, but he's not been going into PvP with it solo, right? When we went into fights, we would crew it. But yeah. So the cap ships in the game right now are really unfun to fight, and they're unfun to deal with. And basically, unless you have one, they're just kind of like, oh, well, fucking hell, right? I was gonna have a talk and make it into a video with somebody. There was a solo Idris enjoyer, but that never ended up happening. A lot of personal stuff got in the way of that. So it's not a win button, it's a I don't lose button or I make you waste your time button, right? Solo Idris still kind of sucks. Like, it's not gonna kill a fighter unless the fighter lets it. Well, now with armor you can't Idris, that's the thing, right? Basically nobody can interact with you unless they're also in a big ship, but you get to be one person in a big ship. If they want to maximize damaging you, they kind of need to crew or whatever, right? Like, for let's say Perseus versus Idris, Perseus needs at least two people to hurt you. Polaris needs at least 2 people to hurt you. I agree, the Kraken is still the Kraken is hugely appealing to me. I swear we bought these, chat. Can someone go back and look and see if I actually bought them? I swear I did. I'm sorry, chat. God, we had a whole big deal about it, and I didn't even fucking buy the guns. Yeah, so that's the build. In theory, if, if we can get that missile turret to work, you get 8 size 1 missiles, two size 3 bombs, then a full ballistic cannon and loadout. That is gonna go. Yeah. I agree with you, Gallus. And all they need to do is move power out of the pilot seat and into the crew seats, right? At least that's a start. Then they need to actually make engineer gameplay worthwhile and fun. They need to find other ways of encouraging other crew spots besides like an engineer or a gunner. Like, it would be cool if there was a radar operator or something that had a really powerful scanning dish that they could point at things, and that would give you buffs or some other thing. It would help you find stealth ships. It would help you find torpedoes coming your way. Just prioritizing other seats and moving power out of the pilot seat. And alternatively, they just make the ships a lot harder to fly. If helming a cap ship required a lot of skill, and if you fucked it up, you were going to be really inefficient, burn so much fuel, fall out of atmo, right? Like, okay, you're in a cap ship. You don't have color mode. You don't have gravity assist. You don't have wind assist. And you have massive inertial issues, right? Well, no, okay. Engineering was put in the PTU, then it was gutted, and then it was put in the PU. I agree, Hazard. My pitch for engineering is we keep everything we currently have, right? Everything we currently have for engineering. But that is your emergency role. Your actual role in the fight is to sit on the engineering terminal, and you have a mini game. You have a mini game for each type of for each type of power. So you have a gun mini game, you have an engine mini game, you have a shield mini game, and if you beat that mini game, you get a 2-minute buff. Where if it's guns, you get higher rate of fire, higher velocities, more capacitors, whatever they choose to give you. Engines, more output, more thrust. Shields, more regenerate, maybe even active regen while under fire. That would be really overpowered, but you could do it. But then when that buff expires and you do the minigame again, it gets more difficult. And once you fail the minigame, there is a 5-minute timer. You fail it twice. 10-minute timer. You fail it 3 times. 30-minute timer. And so you need to have a skilled engineer who can do those reliably and quickly to keep your buffs up in a fight. See, I want it to be a minigame. I want it to be an active thing that the player is doing. It's not just, hey, engineer, put overclock on gun. Because then you're clicking one thing. I want you to be constantly doing this in a fight.
Creative innovation. It's innovative creativity.
That's an interesting idea, Jared. I admit I haven't thought of that one. I feel like the Idris players would revolt. All right, we got the ship kitted out though. I really want to go back to Chala's and Ashland now. But I don't think we have time for that. I have an appointment at 3:30 my time, which is in 50 minutes. I don't know if we can get to Chala's and get any content in 50 minutes. Did you post in special? We need to save the address, right? Yeah. I feel so stupid, chat. We wasted so much time because I just didn't buy the gun. So this loadout is not meant to PvE at all. It won't have the ammo to PvE, but for PvPing, this could be a very good stealth, basically, gotcha bitch, pants down loadout. I don't know if the cannons are worth it, because with 4 of them we should have decent damage still. And then the bombs are just for currently Ashland and Chala's in case anybody is down there camping it. Hello Jared, how are you doing, man? Good to see you again. Alrighty. So, what is our stealth if we pump it all right down? That's not bad, chat. That is really not bad. That is really not, that is, all right, yep. Now, obviously we don't have, no, here, hold on, let's switch to guns here. 3.3 with everything powered, right? We dump that down. What about even only 1 pip of shield? And we will need radar. So, but no shield, but radar. I mean, we're already under cross section. 3-5. Can I maybe get away with one cooler? That radar one's hot? Yeah. We got plenty of power. Maybe we'll swap the radar back out. We have the stealth radar.
Shields offline. Shields online. All systems offline.
We can swap the radars back out. I'm just so used to putting the SNSR7 on everything. Like part of it is ingrained in my brain hole. Yeah, I don't think we'll have time to go all the way down to Chalos today. I really, really want to. Are you free on the 30th? That's when I'm gonna have enough time to start dedicated Star Citizen. 30th, I don't think so. Might have an org activity then. And I need to play more with my org. Oh no. Oh, Star Citizen. To be fair, that's my fault. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. No, I tempted. I tempted fate. So you're saying the capstan is more stealth than the stealth? You are the ship now, right? I'm surprised I lived that. We can save ourselves by doing this. City A. Well, okay. Can we buy this City A here? God damn. I don't know if you can buy Civ A. All right. Hello, put it away. Dude, stop. Holy shit. Put it away. Put it away. Okay, wow. We just burned some of those meds. All the way to New Babbage? Alright. We just hit the 3-hour mark on the stream here. I guess we'll get it kitted out, and then unfortunately I think I do have to go because I've got something in 30 minutes here. But then I will. I definitely want to take this build back to Ashland and Chalos before the next patch comes. I don't imagine we're going to see that Ashland to Chalos route last very long, especially based off of the verbiage of Highlander. The only raiders you can't buy for military, D&D for some reason from the S1 raiders. Weird. Okay. Yeah, I've just been so focused on the SNSR7 for everything, just because it's 2 pip for max range. I went the wrong way. My brain is just fried. I'm not a smart man, chat. Apparently people are doing a Hunger Games in the chat. Guess we just stay on board.
Careful, doors are now closed. The capsule will be leaving the station momentarily.
But no, I would, sorry, Essence, I didn't mean to kind of dismiss you. I do think on the 30th I will be busy with org stuff. I think we're planning a big org v org fight that I need to start training people for and stuff. But I would still be down to help you out, and then anything else like that, especially with flight early on. There are some. I would really recommend that there's some things you do in the beginning just to set yourself up for success later on. A lot of those are just game settings things, even.
Nearing next stop.
Yeah. All right, we buy our radar. Potentially. I need to get permission from people, but yeah, we were going to be doing a pretty big fight. At the very least, I would have recorded. I do. I do. I do. You're right, Sky. All right. Radar. Betty. All right. They did not have single pip. It's close, but it's not single pip. It's not far enough though. Here's the thing, it's the exact same pip diff as Deadbolt Force did. As your title to the stream, I prefer games that work. Well, fair. Very fair. Yeah, functional enough. Absolutely, Yandex. No, I would still definitely do it over Deadbolt Force. The Deadbolt 4s are dead. The Season 88s are just so good. So we don't have time for anything dramatic, but we could do a Gillies really quick just to feel out how this thing does.
Stand clear of disembarking passengers. The capsule will be leaving.
Flight suit with that helmet. Interesting. That's you? Wait, that's you? Take off your helmet. Take off your helmet, good sir. Holy shit, that is you. That is you. That's funny. No rifle? Like, I get it. Flight suit is life, but no rifle? I really should have set my home. I assume if I have 300 FPS, it's already over for me. I get you. You have a pistol at least? Man, bro ain't even doing any missions. He's just here for the love of the game. I appreciate it. I wear mono flight suit all the time. This is actually the first time I've worn armor since flight suits were added to the game. But did he get eaten? Oh no. Oh god. That desync though.
Welcome to the ASOP Vehicle Retrieval System.
Newly renovated accommodation. Located downtown, the luxurious Empire Grand.
All right.
Vehicle selected. Stand by.
Then yeah, I'm definitely gonna fly to Pyro and try out this build over there at the hotspot.
Vehicle has been delivered.
But not today. Maybe later tonight. I'm a little sad that I had this appointment coming up here. Normally I do this appointment before this and I can go as long as I want, but timing had to be moved around. Let's just see if we can't get a really quick Gillies like 6 done here. All right, here we go.
Enter aerospace. All systems online.
Yeah, still have plenty of power.
gunnery. We are still unstaggered, so maybe we will actually get
Takeoff complete. Landing gear raised.
a good way to fire these guns. So I think with 4 of them, it might still make sense. 2 definitely doesn't make sense to run these guns, use one of ammo way too quick. It's all about how much DPS you put on the board, right? With 4 of them hitting, and then with the T-78s hitting, if our TTK is fast enough, it will still make sense to use these guns. Still not really for a PvE loadout, but like I said, this is definitely an Ashland Chala's loadout here. We have the bombs, we have all the stuff, we're stealthed out. This was meant to drop in behind a fighter and delete it before it knows what's going on. Nine Ball, good to see you. We're about to get off, sadly. I might stream more later, but I have an appointment coming up in 30 minutes here, and I need to prep for that, sadly. We might do more later. Tomorrow I have a Warhammer game, but we get anything done this time around? We kitted out the Hornet Ghost. That's what we did. We did PvP earlier. We recorded a snippet for a video on Highlander's response about the whole Ashland stuff. We did not even pull out the Ironclad because there's LTP issues right now. And it logged me in the wrong location. I tried all F4 when I ran into a bug in the Basher and trying to do a mission now in Nicked, and that reset me as well. So like, I'm not feeling safe to bring the fully kitted out Ironclad out right now. It's gonna make me do this. So we're just testing the build here just to see how it performs. Yeah, this is the mission that I'm gonna want you to do, by the way. Essential. This is these missions up to this one is the highest. Right here, number 6 is where you will peak to earn money in your Gladius.
Shields on.
And then I want you to buy a Shiv. And then you have a Shiv, you'll have the Golem, and you'll have a Gladius. And that'll be a decent starter for whatever you want to do.
Bogey.
Alright, the fighters have separation. Yeah, so it is absolutely not a mono pip, and it's not staggering. I really am annoyed at how buggy staggered is in PE. I wish they would have fixed that. Alright, there's other fighters right there.
Target destroyed.
Alright. Now, let's pick a side. Kill one of the turrets. I do hope that we get 10. If we're being super efficient, we'd actually want to change up our weapon groupings so we don't fire the size 3s until we get enough through. So now that we've killed this guy, all we need to do is strip the armor enough where everything else damages.
That wraps up this lesson. Fantastic work.
I killed the gun. I killed the pilot.
Aptitude for combat. Hopefully the next lesson will help you grow even more.
What? They insta-kill Connie's? That was so quick. All right, hold on. I really should get off. I should get off, but I want to do one more. We're gonna do number 5.
Shields offline.
Colonies can never catch a break, right? Do 7? Nah, we can't do 7 with this build. Now, if I could dumbfire the bombs.
Okay, you're in the right place. Stand by while I deploy your targets.
Shields online.
Got hostiles heading to your position. Prepare to engage.
Bogey.
All right, and now this thing is defenseless. Like I said, killing turrets is so rapid right now.
Target destroyed.
All targets neutralized. Catch your breath. The next one is on its way.
Yeah.
Bogey.
I love how it targeted the fuel tanks instead of the enemy ships. Thank you, radar. Okay, Firebird.
Shields.
I love seeing the Firebird pop instantaneously. All right, let's get over you.
Target destroyed.
And you popped stupid quick too. God, these guns are so overpowered, man. What the fuck? This is my first time doing PvE with them, I think. I PvP'd with them, but I haven't taken them into PvE yet. Okay. Desync like crazy.
Target destroyed.
That's gonna put a big check mark in the
Shields
done.
offline.
You showed a lot of solid skills out there today, rookie.
Ah, yes, skill.
See how you do with the next lesson.
That's what that was.
Drive is now on.
That's what that was.
Is now off.
Let's see, where is Tressler? That way? An OM behind me, maybe? Oh, right there. Alright, well, we're gonna go land a Tressler, rearm, repair,
Quantum drive.
refuel, all that fun stuff. Then we're gonna be getting off for today. I don't know I'll be live again. I kind of want to be. I want to play more. I definitely want to take this build over to Chala's. But God, they made it so annoying navigating through OMs now. Because they like hide things from you if you aren't like on the planet itself. Here we go. But yeah, we'll see. Tomorrow I have a Warhammer game to play, so maybe it'll be on later, maybe not. We'll see. But yeah, definitely gonna be putting out a video though soon, talking about Chala's and Ashland and about Highlander's response there. I'm just gonna take that snippet we did earlier, guys, on the stream, and I'm going to just overlay, you know, combat footage that I have from there from me and Nineball and Ares and the Andix and all those guys, because that was a good time, and I really want more of that stuff to show up and happen. By the way, Nineball, do I have your permission to use your POV that you put in the Discord in a video? Like when you were down to doing FPS stuff, or like snagging the crate. Frame rate, do you want to come back? Frame rate? Oh god. Heck yeah.
Shields online. Deployed.
No. Anyways, so that'll probably come out tomorrow or Monday. Probably tomorrow, because I want to get it out a little sooner rather than later.
Landing complete.
Do you really want me to cut out that part? I will, but it adds to the tension. Yeah, so this build is pretty nice. It would be nicer if I could get staggered fire to working. I do think it'll be really fun to take it somewhere like Chala's or Ashland, though, you know? Most fighters right now should be scared of it. It's Atmo fighting, so they can't maneuver quite as well. This is a lot of hurt coming out of this nose. This is a good build. I still don't know why my nose comes out damaged. We just repaired and it's fucked up again. Yeah, anyways, I'm gonna get off for now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I will catch you guys all next time. Peace.